way you have to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Right? In an ideal world, subscribers should be paying for news, and that should be driving everything. But that's not the way the world is.
It's not,
And it's
unfortunately.
not, right? So in this imperfect world we live in, with corporatization and everything else, as long as there is the space, if there is the space, to be able to be independent and not have editorial interference, then I think you're still okay.
Yeah.
It's when there is editorial interference, or you are asked to toe a certain line, which then it becomes, then it's problematic.
Absolutely.
And it's not something that's unique to India. I mean, everyone's been talking about the Washington Post and Bezos, and there are so many other examples in the US, etc., where you have corporate ownership of media. But ultimately, so that's not the issue, I think, anymore, because it is imperfect. It's really a question of independence editorially.
Yeah. But that's what, right? So, I mean, as a subscription, so I think news has always been free for us. So we don't really see it as a product worth paying for. Like, if I put it super crudely.
Yeah, you've worked in a place which drives itself only on subscriptions,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
how has that worked?
So I would say that the model is
It's noble.
It's noble, yes. It's also solid in places, but it's also in flux, right? So like there
So it's
would
erratic.
be good months.
Yeah.
It's very erratic. Not even like understatement bhi nahi hai ki it's very erratic, right? So, and it almost feels like sometimes when like the MSM, mainstream media, ad funded media, is not doing a story and you end up doing a story which becomes big, then you get like a flux of subscribers, right? But that is so random. It can't be a business model, right?
So that's the thing. Now, when you have an organization that has to pay, let's say, 2,000 people, and how does it sustain itself? I think if you make clear, for example, that if you have an advertorial, say from a state government, and you make it clear, right, constantly, that this is an ad. Like,
Yeah.
You have to have that disclaimer in place. Again, I say it's not ideal.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. And one is not like thrilled about it.
Yeah.
But one is also living in realistic times where we have to find a way to be able to pay people salaries,
Right.
without compromising our integrity.
Right.
So I think a lot of people who are sanctimonious about all these things, let them be happy in their sermonizing. But the real world is very different.
Right.
One interesting way to also look at like the subscription model, which I've been thinking about as well, was for example, they can expand and collapse very quickly. But keeping people on payroll is a problem then, right? Where you won't be able to give incentives, you won't be able to offer any sort
And
of
that's not easy. That's not an easy choice for everyone.
It's not.
It's very nice to say, "Yaar, walk away into the sunset."